What's going on YouTube? Gabriel Ryder here, PGA Tour Driven, the movement towards improvement. We're here at the back of the range, the Raspberry Academy, the short game area. And one of the things you guys want to do when you're practicing is to make sure you're regimented, you're structured, you're organized, that your practice routine is structured to your own challenges that you need to overcome and improve. So we're here on the short game area, and one of the things you don't want to do is wander around aimlessly, hitting chips and pitches, not knowing what you're doing and not having goals. So we're going to show you guys what they do over here at the Raspberry Academy to keep things measurable, to measure success and guarantee success. Okay, Josh, so can you explain to me how you're practicing your short game and what all these alignment rods are and what these circles are on the green next to the pins?
Yeah, of course. So we're doing something that's called one and dones, and we're going to 3 different targets from 10 different locations. And it's called one and done because if you get it on your first try inside the circle around each hole, then you're done. But if you don't, then you have to get 5 in a row inside the circle. So potentially you're only hitting 10 shots, or you could be here all day.
How big are the circles set up around the holes?
So to the purple hole here, it's 3 feet diameter. And then to the yellow, you have 5 feet, and to the white, you have 7 feet. So it's set up based on the difficulty of each shot.
How long could this take you on any given day?
You could be done very quickly, or you could be done in a long time. I know some of the guys have spent 4 hours in the bunker hitting one shot trying to get 5 in a row. Today it took me about an hour and a half to complete the whole cycle.
Now, are you only supposed to use one club, or you can take all your clubs with you?
You can take all your clubs. You're allowed to test around, play around with all your different clubs. Today I used lob wedge, sand wedge, gap wedge, pitching wedge, and hybrid. So I used 5 different clubs to complete it today.
How do you want to set up these alignment rods? What positions do you want to put them in?
For the more beginners, you would just do flat lies, simple bump and run type shots. But for us as pros, we set up more difficult. We have shots in the rough, we have above your feet, below your feet, in the bunker above the feet. We even have one set up over there in the desert above your feet. So the difficulty varies, and that's why we have different size circles set up around the flags.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Josh. Thanks for sharing some of the insight on how you guys practice your short game. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, one of the things I noticed was when doing this short game combine, going over to the alignment rods and chipping into the circles, is making sure you choose the right club for the shot. So for me, if I was having a hard time getting 5 shots in the circle, I would switch a club, because you can use anything, lob wedge, sand wedge, pitching wedge. I would switch a club and automatically get faster and better results. It's easier for me to chip it in the circle. So this is a thing you'll kind of become aware of and notice, is that sometimes you'll just choose the wrong club for the shot. That makes it harder to get it closer to the hole. So I'm going to go around and I'll kind of show you guys where they put these alignment rods and how big the circles are. Okay, here's one alignment rod about 20 feet to the pin to about maybe a 3-foot circle. Here's another alignment rod about 35 feet on an upslope. Okay, here's another alignment rod about, I don't know, 35 yards. You have to go all the way to that white one to maybe about 6-foot circle. Got to get 5 in a row here out of the rough. Here's one about 15 yards from the pin, but as you can see, you have to go through some fringe here to a green that's severely sloped downhill. So you're gonna have to learn to trundle it through the fringe. You could either putt it, belly it, use a hybrid, a wedge, and then just get it barely trickled on to go in this hole. This one maybe looks about maybe 4.5 feet big, the circle. Okay, here's one about 20 yards. You gotta go from this yellow alignment rod to that yellow pin. It's about, 4.5-foot circle. Can you work on, hitting a pitching wedge, 9-iron from here? You got a little green to work with. Okay, there's alignment rod way down there, about 50 yards away, I'd say, to this first pin right here. Maybe about 5.5-foot circle. Got to get 5 in a row. Or obviously, if you get 1 in the first try, you get to skip to the next station. Okay, here's another alignment rod. Flop shot. You got to carry over that bunker to that pin right there, so you don't have much green to work with. Can work on the high lobber. Okay, here's a bunker shot. It's a uphill side hill lie to this pin. It's about 4.5 feet, 1 and done, or get 5 in a row. Oh yeah, and if you guys make one, it counts as 2 points. Okay, here's one, and they even practice out of maybe like a dry, dead Bermuda that's just out of the sand. So you can always practice different lies, harder lies that'd be hard to control. Okay, you guys, so here's a shot. As you can see, I got it in with that chip shot. You could hit a flop shot, you could hit a chip 60, you could probably hit a little pitching wedge. So for you, when you're practicing, you have to figure out what your strength is, what you're comfortable with. You know, for some people, they might feel more comfortable hitting a higher lobbier more shot, floppier more shot than a bump and run. So be aware of your tendencies and what you feel comfortable with and what you can repeat most of the time. So you guys can go around your chipping greens and, you know, maybe put tees in the ground as little markers on where you want to chip from. That way you can get yourself some bump and runs, some pitches, some bunker shots, some flop shots, and you can use the same format. It's pretty cool. So once again, if you hit that first chip in that circle, you get to go right to the next station. But if you don't, then from there on you have to hit 5 in a row, then you can move on to the next station. So give it out a try, you guys. Could definitely work on your short game. This is Gabriel Ryder here, PGA Tour Driven, the movement towards improvement. Please subscribe, share this video if you like. Peace, I'll talk to you guys soon.